You can't sit here focusing on attracting little things when your soul path is bigger than that. Public service announcement from your spiritual body and psychic medium. I got a message. This is what they had told me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. When your karma is bigger than your vision board, all of those manifestation techniques that you use willy-nilly do not fucking matter. God and your higher self look at your plans and they laugh. You are better off building a personal and authentic connection with God, getting to know what your actual path is, building the spiritual fortitude, the strength, and the stamina. The problem holding people back when they're focused on manifesting specific circumstances is that they have specific karmic lessons in place. And because we all have free will and the power of conscious intention, we are able to attract things and match that energy in the quantum field, thus attracting our manifestations, right? But God and your spirit guides will allow certain temporary manifestations if they can be arranged to actually teach you the lessons that your soul agreed to learn in this lifetime. So even if you have to learn them the hard way because you're stubborn, it's going to be for your ultimate growth on a soul level. And this is what spirit wants me to tell the collective. Stop trying to force things into your reality when you intuitively know that it's not for you. Working on your self-concept, your identity, your embodiment, yes, that's important. But what's missing from the conversation when we talk about manifestation and self-concept and law of attraction, what's missing is an actual connection with God and your higher self. If you're receiving blocks and you're trying to manifest something with intensity and desperation, only to end up empty-handed, then it's probably a karmic lesson. You need to figure out what that lesson is and you need to learn it. Sometimes it's divine timing. Other times it's not even in the cards for you and it is literally being blocked by God. Your manifestations are not God's plans for you. The things that you're trying to call in are not the things that you need to be focused on. Every case is different, so take what resonates. But people need to understand that just because you think that you can manifest something doesn't mean it's actually for you to have. Sometimes God and spirit will allow you to manifest certain things that you're not supposed to have long term so you can learn a lesson. You will be able to attract and manifest things on a temporary level just so you can learn that it wasn't for you and that you need to focus on something else and that you need to reroute and redirect where your energy is being put. Sometimes you have to redirect where you are putting your intention and where you are putting your energy and your focus. The things that you're trying to call in and manifest are not things that you're meant to have because your life contract is contingent on learning specific lessons along the journey on planet Earth. If you are so focused on manifesting very specific things and you are so intensely obsessed with those things, you're going to keep blocking what you're actually supposed to receive. You're going to block the things that are meant for you. You're going to block the chapter you're supposed to be in. You're going to block whatever you're supposed to be receiving and learning and doing along the way. You cannot be so focused on going left when God and spirit and your higher self is literally pushing you and directing you to go to the right. That's what so many people are doing today. That is what is missing from the conversation when we talk about manifestation, when we talk about universal laws and law of attraction and consciousness and intention, and we talk about matching the energy and the frequency in the quantum field so you can attract the thing at the same vibration and the wavelength. That is applicable, but to an extent, because when you need to learn specific things that you literally signed up to learn, when you reincarnated in this lifetime, when you need to learn those specific lessons that apply to your soul's journey and alignment and path, you cannot focus on manifesting simple things with limited thinking. It doesn't work that way. That's why you're not getting the things that you think that you want, because ultimately you're supposed to be getting other things and going in a different direction. That's why you feel like you're obsessing on these techniques and this manifestation technique, and you might even spend money on a course or a coach or a guide, and you're still not receiving the things, and you're so fed up and desperate about why you're not receiving the things, and you feel upset about it, is because you're not supposed to. And a lot of the energy in this eclipse season is about grieving the reality that you thought you were going to receive, grieving the things and the people and the old circumstances that are no longer going to apply to the new season that you're bringing in right now. You can't bring old circumstances to a new season. You cannot bring an old pattern, old programming to a new programming. It doesn't work that way. If you actually want to call in an upgrade for yourself, for your life, for your circumstances, for what you need to do, if you're calling in that upgrade, how are you going to bring outdated programming and outdated thinking and outdated realities and circumstances to that upgrade? It literally does not fit in that box. You are so caught up on what you used to have, on what you thought you wanted, on the things that you used to be involved in. You're so caught up in these things over here, you can't focus on the things over here. You cannot call in a new reality when you're focused and obsessing and haven't fully grieved the previous one. A lot of this big energy when it comes to this eclipse season and this manifestation that we're bringing in on a collective level, it's about getting the old energy out so you can make space for the new thing. You have to make space for the new thing, and you have to accept where you are, what has happened, who can't come with you, what you have to let go of, what part you played, the responsibility that it's going to take to maintain, sustain, and grow the new thing that you want, the new identity that you have to call in, the things that you used to have that you can't bring with you, the people, the circumstances, the old relationship, the old job, the family members who you cannot bring forward with you in this new level, the friends that you used to have, the places you used to go, the clothes you used to wear. All of that is applicable to an old identity. When you're calling it a new identity, when you're calling it a new program, you have to release the old thing to make space for the new thing. It's called that's how you bring in the new quantum reality. That's how you manifest the new thing. When you receive, when you are actually in receiving mode, and you can release the grip on what you thought it was going to look like and how you want it to work out and the specifics behind what you want to call in, and you're open to receiving a new thing, and you are in a place of receptivity and allowance and detachment from that, that's when you can manifest the thing that you're supposed to manifest, the thing that God wants you to actually manifest. And until you have that whole process, it's an entire integrative process, right? There are multiple parts, there are multiple pieces to that puzzle. Until you have all them pieces that come together for that puzzle, you're not going to get the thing that you're supposed to have, that you need to have, that you probably want, and you don't even realize you want it because it's bigger than what you're thinking about right now. It's on a karmic soul level. You can't sit here focusing on attracting little things when your soul path is bigger than that. Your karmic path is bigger than these human desires and these human manifestations that we put on a vision board and that we obsess over and that we write about and that we might journal, and then we have these techniques that we do and we repeat ourselves into this new story when we're trying to create a new story. It doesn't work that way. Not for everybody, because you're supposed to have more than that. You're supposed to learn specific things, and you're supposed to have more than what you think that you're calling in. And it's going to play out in a different way that is supposed to happen the way it needs to happen for you to learn the lessons that you need to learn, so you can hold that new identity and actually sustain that new identity, and so you can attract the right people at the right time in the right way. Your life path is bigger than these human limited thinking manifestations. Let go of the old thing so you can bring in the new thing. Accept where you are and grieve what had to go so you can call in the new thing, because we don't have time. We don't have time. You're going to obsess over it. You're going to go in a karmic loop. You're going to see the same patterns repeating if you don't learn those lessons. Take some time to journal and write about the lessons that you learned in every single way, big and small, that you can possibly think of. Be mindful and have a self-awareness about the patterns that had to repeat and the things that had to be released so you can call in the new thing. That's it. So take what resonates, meditate on it, pray on it, and see what you need to call in and what you need to release and where you need to surrender to the process.